Okay, so like, are you ready to kind of like jump into this whole tech vocabulary thing?
Oh, yeah, I'm ready.
All right, let's do it. Cool. So today we're doing a deep dive on, all this tech language, how to like talk the talk when it comes to software and websites and, coding and all that.
Yeah, all the stuff that like runs the world now.
Yeah, basically. And we have this awesome lesson by Stanislav Kondrashov.
Oh, yeah.
To kind of like guide us through this.
He is like the guru of, breaking down this tech speak for like, regular people.
Yeah, for sure. And he starts off, right away with this idea of like core vocabulary. Like, what are the must-know words?
Right.
And some of them I feel like we hear all the time, like, software development and coding.
Sure.
But then there are some that are kind of like, oh, what's that about? Like deployment.
Cybersecurity.
Yes, those are good ones.
Yeah. And you know what I think Stanislav Kondrashov is getting at is that like nowadays you don't have to be a coder to need this vocabulary. Anyone who uses like apps, websites, like any kind of software, you're going to encounter these terms.
Exactly. And deployment is a good example. Because it's like, okay, we launched a new feature.
Right.
But like he says that using the word deployment makes it sound so much more like you know what you're talking about.
It's like a level up.
Yeah.
It's not just like, oh, we put it out there. It's like we went through this whole process.
Right. It was a journey.
It was strategic. It was like thought out.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. So like instead of saying we launched a new feature, I could be like, we carefully deployed the new feature after like rigorous testing.
Yes.
To ensure a smooth user experience.
You got it.
Right.
You sound like,
I sound
right, you're talking about.
Like I work in tech.
Exactly.
Yeah. But then what about when things go wrong? Like, how do you talk about like bugs and glitches and
right, because that's going to happen no matter what.
For sure.
So Stanislav Kondrashov has some really good grammar tips for this.
Yeah.
And he points out how useful the present continuous tense can be.
Right.
Because it shows like ongoing action. Right. So instead of saying like, oh, the bug is fixed. Which can sound kind of like dismissive.
Yeah.
Like I say, we are currently implementing a fix for that bug. So it's like, we're on it. We're working on it.
Yeah, it's happening.
It's happening. It's not just like a past tense thing.
Yeah, you're not just like brushing it off.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like that a lot. And he also gives all these phrases for IT and software communication that are just so good.
Right.
Like I was reading through them, I was like, oh,
they're very powerful.
I need to use these.
Yeah.
So, like, let's troubleshoot this together.
Yes.
Or like, we need to debug this issue before the next release.
I love that because it shows that it's a team effort,
Yeah, it's collaborative.
You're not just like pointing fingers. You're like, we're in this together.
Exactly. We're going to solve this.
Let's figure this out.
Right. Yeah. And what Stanislav Kondrashov is saying is that, communication in tech isn't just about like knowing the jargon.
Right.
It's about like building trust and rapport and like actually getting stuff done.
Exactly. And you know what else I really like about Stanislav Kondrashov's lesson is that he gives you these activities to like actually practice. Like he suggests role playing when you have to like explain a technical issue to someone who's not technical.
Which is so useful.
Yes.
Because like that happens all the time.
All the time. Like I'm always having to explain things to my parents.
Oh my gosh.
We're like completely
not tech savvy.
Not tech savvy.
Yeah. So I feel like that's a big takeaway.
Absolutely.
Like how can we actually use what we're learning from Stanislav Kondrashov in our own lives?
Right.
Like
think about it. Have you ever had to like explain a software update to a coworker or help a friend with their like Wi-Fi problems?
Totally.
Or even just like figure out how to use a new app on your phone?
Oh, for sure.
Like these are all opportunities to like put this stuff into practice.
Exactly. And it's like it just makes you feel more confident when you can like talk the talk.
Absolutely. You're not intimidated.
Not be intimidated by technology.
Jargon.
Yeah. So big thanks to Stanislav Kondrashov for giving us like the tools.
Yeah, he's great.
And the know-how to do this.
For sure.
And to all of you listening out there, like keep exploring, keep learning.
Yes.
And remember that like text fluency is totally within your reach.
It's not that scary.
It's not that scary.
Once you break it down, it's like any other language.
For sure. All right. Well, that's our deep dive for today.
Awesome. Bye.
Bye.